A compelling argument for Jango Fett being the biological father of Anakin Skywalker can be made by delving into the nuances of Jango's character, his desires and his possible motivations, paired with the complexities of the Star Wars universe's themes of parentage and legacy. Here's how it unfolds. 1. Jango Fett's desire for a son. Jango Fett's desire for a son is made clear in Attack of the Clones. He is depicted as a man who cares deeply for his son, Boba Fett, whom he raises as his own despite being a clone. His attachment to Boba hints at a deep longing for a biological connection to a child. He might have wanted to pass on his own legacy, not just through being a bounty hunter, but through a son he could train and raise, imparting his Mandalorian warrior skills and values. This sets the stage for his potential fatherhood of Anakin. In this scenario, Shmi's explanation of Anakin's miraculous birth might be an attempt to protect Jango's reputation, both from the Hutts and from the Jedi, who might have taken an interest in the mysterious origins of the child. 3. Jango's attachment to his son. Jango Fett's complex relationship with Boba Fett suggests that, had circumstances been different, he might have sought to raise Anakin himself. His attachment to Boba is unusual for a man so hardened by his life as a bounty hunter, but it speaks volumes about his yearning for a biological son. The fact that he chose to raise a clone of himself speaks to a desire for continuity, a desire for a son who could carry on his legacy. It would not be out of character for Jango to see Anakin, the child of his own flesh, as the son he could not raise, especially in light of his complicated feelings toward the Jedi and the galaxy. 4. Jango Fett's actions toward Anakin. Jango's actions during Attack of the Clones are revealing. He never directly attacked Anakin, even though Anakin was actively pursuing him and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This could be interpreted as Jango's recognition of something deeper than just another bounty hunter mission. Jango might have known that Anakin was his biological son, and out of a complex mix of pride, fear, and regret, he chose not to engage with him in combat. Instead, he fights Obi-Wan, who represents the Jedi Order, a group that would likely view Jango as an enemy, but not Anakin, who has a more uncertain and fluid relationship with the Jedi. 5. Jango's ship, Slave One. Jango Fett's ship, Slave One, could be seen as a symbolic gesture honoring the son he could not raise, Anakin. The name Slave might reference Jango's own life as a slave, but it could also represent his desire for freedom from his past mistakes. The One could symbolize the individual loss he feels for Anakin, who was lost to him because of his commitment to the bounty hunting lifestyle. If Jango had fathered Anakin, naming his ship Slave One might have been a quiet tribute to the son he never had the chance to raise or mentor in the way he did with Boba. 6. The possibility of jealousy. Jango's actions, particularly his aggression toward the Jedi, might stem from jealousy or possessiveness. The fact that Anakin Skywalker, his biological son, was being trained by the Jedi instead of being brought up in the ways of the Mandalorians could have driven Jango to act out of frustration. He might have viewed the Jedi's influence over his son as a betrayal of his own wishes for Anakin's future. This dynamic could explain why Jango seems less concerned about Obi-Wan than Anakin, who might represent a lost opportunity to pass on his Mandalorian heritage. 7. Boba Fett and Luke Skywalker. In the later films, Boba Fett intentionally refrains from harming Luke Skywalker even when he has the opportunity. This restraint could be viewed as another manifestation of the Fett family's complex relationship with their offspring. If Jango truly viewed Anakin as his son, then Boba's actions toward Luke, another Skywalker, might be tied to an unspoken bond of family. A tacit understanding that, despite the conflict in the bounty hunter profession, family ties run deep. Boba might have subconsciously recognized Luke's importance to his father's legacy, mirroring the emotional complexity Jango might have felt toward Anakin. Conclusion. Through a combination of Jango Fett's desire for a son, Shmi Skywalker's possible deception to protect Jango, and Jango's complex feelings toward Anakin, it's plausible that Jango Fett could have been the biological father of Anakin Skywalker. Jango's actions, including his attachment to Boba Fett, his ship's name, his reluctance to harm Anakin, and his indirect involvement in Anakin's life, all point to a deeper connection than what appears on the surface. The idea that Jango might have fathered Anakin but was kept in the dark about it by Shmi adds layers of complexity to the story of Anakin's origins, tying the themes of family, legacy, and sacrifice to the broader narrative of the Star Wars saga. P.S. If this fan theory is true, then Anakin Skywalker actually avenged his father, Jango Fett's death, by helping to kill the Jedi Master, who took Fett's head off with a lightsaber, none other than Mace Windu. Coincidence? We think not.